Some stories don't have an ending. This is one of them. It happened on a normal vacation, in a sunny town by the sea. A family was having fun. Everything seemed perfect. But one night, something strange happened. A child disappeared. No one saw it. No one heard it. And even today, no one knows exactly what happened. In this video, we'll take you through one of the most mysterious missing person cases in the world. Let's go back to where it all began. In 2007, a family went on a vacation to a sunny town in Portugal called Praia da Luz. It was a peaceful place with beaches, small streets, and warm weather. Many families went there to relax and enjoy their time off. One night, the parents decided to go out for dinner. They stayed nearby, just a short walk from the apartment. Their 3 young children were sleeping inside. The parents didn't lock the door. They planned to check on the kids every now and then, just like they had done the nights before. But something strange happened that night. The parents checked on the kids in turns. Everything seemed fine, until just after 10 p.m. That's when one of them returned and froze. The oldest child was missing. The bed was empty. The window was open. But there were no signs of a break-in. No broken glass. No loud noise. Just gone. Right away, the parents called for help. People at the resort started looking everywhere. Flashlights lit up the streets. But there was no sign of the child. By the next morning, the story had spread all over the world. A child had disappeared without a trace, and no one could explain how. Did someone take the child? Did the child walk away? How did it happen without anyone seeing or hearing anything? The first 2 days after the child went missing were the most important. Police and rescue teams knew that if they didn't find clues quickly, it would get much harder later on. But from the very beginning, there were problems. When the police arrived at the apartment, many people had already gone in and out. Family, friends, neighbors, even hotel workers. They were all trying to help. But without meaning to, they made things worse. Important clues might have been moved or touched. Footprints and fingerprints were everywhere. It was hard for the police to tell what was important and what wasn't. At first, the police thought the child might have just walked away and gotten lost. They searched the area near the beach and nearby streets. People looked behind buildings, in fields, and even in trash bins. But there was no sign of the child anywhere. Then, something strange happened. A few people said they saw a man carrying a child that night. Some remembered the clothes. Some remembered the direction he walked. But the stories didn't all match. Some people reported what they saw right away. Others waited hours, or even days. And still, no one knew for sure if the child had been taken or had walked away. The police also found a torn window shutter and an open window. But there were no signs that someone broke in. Could it have been left open on purpose? Or did someone know exactly how to get in without making a sound? Back in the apartment, the child's favorite toy was still on the bed. The 2 younger siblings were still asleep. Nothing else looked out of place. By the second day, the news had spread even more. Reporters came from different countries. Cameras were everywhere. People all over the world wanted to help, but the pressure on the family and the police was growing. And still, there were no answers. Why didn't anyone hear anything? Why was there no video or photo of the person who might have taken the child? And what happened during that short time when the parents were away? Days turned into weeks, but there was still no sign of the missing child. More police joined the search. Experts came from other countries. They looked at phone calls, searched nearby buildings, and even brought in special dogs trained to find people. But instead of finding answers, things got more confusing. Some people began to wonder if someone the family knew could have been involved. Others believed a stranger had been watching and waiting for the right moment. Rumors started spreading everywhere. Some of them were wild and scary. Some were clearly made up. But each one took time and attention away from the truth. A few new clues were found, but they didn't solve the case. One person said they saw a man leaving town in a hurry. Another said they saw a car acting strangely. But every time police followed a lead, it went nowhere. Then came another twist. People began to argue. Some blamed the police for not acting faster. Others blamed the parents for leaving the children alone, even if it was just for a short time. The case became more about opinions than facts. TV shows and newspapers from all over the world kept covering the story. Some showed maps, others showed theories. Millions of people were watching, guessing, and talking. But none of them really knew what had happened. Even years later, people claimed to have seen the missing child in different countries. Each time, investigators checked. But each time, it led to nothing. One moment changed everything. One moment when someone was missing from the room, and that moment left behind one of the biggest mysteries in the world. But even with all this attention, no one had the answer to the biggest question: where is the child now? Many years have passed since the child disappeared from that small apartment in Portugal. There have been hundreds of reports, thousands of interviews, and more than one investigation. But still, the mystery remains unsolved. Over time, different teams of police took over the case. Each one looked at old clues and searched for new ones. Some people were questioned again. Some areas were searched more than once. Even lakes and forests miles away were checked. Every now and then, people said they saw someone who looked like the missing child. Some were in airports. Some were in busy cities. But every time, it turned out to be someone else. A few years ago, a new person became a suspect. This person had been living near the resort in 2007 and had a history of breaking the law. Police looked closely at where he was and what he did at the time of the disappearance. They also found an old van he had used. But even with all that, no one could prove he was involved. Today, many people still care deeply about the case. New websites, videos, and documentaries keep the story alive. People still hope for answers. They hope that maybe one day, someone will remember something important. Or maybe, new technology will help find the truth. The family has never given up. They continue to share photos and messages, hoping that someone knows something. But the biggest question still remains: what really happened that night in Praia da Luz? Until there is an answer, this mystery will continue to be one of the most talked about disappearances in the world. And it all began with a simple, quiet night, when one child vanished without a trace. Even after all these years, the truth is still unknown. But one thing is certain: someone knows what happened that night. Until that day comes, the world keeps asking the same question: where is the missing child? If you want to hear more unsolved mysteries like this one, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And remember, sometimes, the most peaceful places can hold the biggest secrets.